say, an error occurred on Periscope. This is usually temporary. Wait a moment and then try again. So what? We're live
Damn
on
you,
the other two, but
Periscope.
not on the other ones. Whatever that means.
I don't know, man. It
Anyway,
says live
it's
over
the
there.
live pre-show. We're about to have a really serious conversation about the A team, who we would be
Oh
in the A team.
no.
But first,
Uh,
spinwizcomics.com. It's a comic and webcomic discovery platform. It's free comics, y'all. That's really all you need to know. Spinwizcomics.com. There's also an iOS and an Android app. 86 independent content creators, over 400 titles, and growing every week, every day. There's more titles up there. Some stuff from Source Point Press, Tidal Wave, Marcosia, Wave Blue World, Arcana. I'm telling you, these are the creators that you're going to hear about within the next 5 years who are on at Marvel and DC, at the big guys. All right. Spinwizcomics.com. Again, it's just free comics. This is the live pre-show. Again, brought to you by spinwizcomics.com. This is where we talk about what we're going to do on the show. We know what we're going to do on the show. If you don't, just hang out and you'll see it. Let us know if you're hanging out. If you're in the chat, that would be awesome. But who would we be if we're on the A team?
Oh no.
I'm Howlin' Mad Murdoch. I don't think there's any other thing that I could do. I sort of fly us around. I don't make any real valid points. I spend most of the time in a crazy house, a house full of other crazy people. So yeah, I think that's yeah.
I'm going to argue
None
that
of
your
us are
face.
face man. I know that much. You ugly.
I think
fucks.
your face actually, because you're the
I'm
most.
face.
No, you're just because you're the most punchable, least useful member of the team.
I
You're
agree
not
with
wrong.
that.
You're not wrong. I am punchable. If you're in the chat, say hi.
You also talk way more than everybody else, man.
I do talk way more than everyone else. I feel like I have to keep the wheels flowing. I'm certainly not Hannibal because he has plans and charisma and people enjoy hanging out with him. I'm not BA for
that rules
most
you
of the
out, for
same
sure.
reasons.
Yeah.
Those are the only members. Is there another member?
No,
Does
just
the
the
girl
four.
count? Does the girl count?
Mm, I don't know. I
She
don't know.
would if they
I don't know
remade
enough
it
about
today. If they remade it nowadays, she would definitely count as a member of the A team. Remember that movie, the A team movie?
Yeah. Vaguely.
Surprisingly great. Surprisingly great.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know if I
okay.
agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, A Team is not exactly, highbrow material to begin with, and so
no,
they
it's
set out to
definitely not.
make a dumb movie, which was entirely appropriate.
You know what would have made it better? The Rock as B.A. Baracus.
Oh, absolutely.
Just saying. Just saying.
Don't like
Who was the
Rampage?
guy that got to be Baracus? Wasn't it like some MMA
The
fighter? Or
Rampage,
something?
wasn't it? Rampage Jackson?
Yeah, I think it was
Sounds
Rampage Jackson. Man, I said blast from the past.
Uh,
Anyway, we were also talking in the pre-show about what a long week this has been, but we're not going to get into details about that. Everybody knows it's been a terribly long week. There's someone who had a really rough week, somebody who we all need to pray for and hope feels better. Rick Moranis was punched on the streets of New York City.
he was. That was crazy,
Crazy,
dude.
dude. All right, first
He
of
was
all,
walking down the street and some dude just punched him in the
Dude, they
face.
just
What kind of
clocked him.
monster? I mean, honestly.
He had to
Crazy.
have not known. It was.
I mean,
I'm
he
willing
might-
to
I'd
give
like
the
to
man
think
the
so.
benefit of the doubt here.
I mean, what has Rick Moranis ever done to anyone?
He
to
hasn't done
deserve such
movies
treatment?
in a lot of years because he wanted to take care of his children.
He had the best of reasons to not do
I
movies
know.
for so long.
But
I
maybe this is
know.
like a mega fan who felt personally attacked by his lack of work. I don't know, but everyone needs
But
to
hey, he's
send well
working again,
wishes.
though. He's giving us more Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I know. I heard he's going to be in that.
Yeah.
Man, I think they're bait and switching on the new Ghostbusters movie. I think he's going to show up in the Ghostbusters movie. I think
That'd
it's a
be nice.
secret. Shh. It's a secret. But yeah,
It's going to be a secret for a long time because I don't think
More
anybody's
Rick
going to be seeing
Moranis.
movies forever.
Yeah.
I want more.
It looks
Rick.
like Regal is going to be shutting down their cinemas again pretty soon and everything.
Oh man, this is a newsy thing that we should do, and
We should wait a minute. Yeah.
We'll do
Fair
the news
enough.
in about 30 seconds. But we did want to say one more time, this is the pre-show where we talk about what we're going to do on the show. The pre-show is, as always, brought to you by spinwizcomics.com. Go check them out on their website. Go to their iOS app and their Android app, depending on which phone you have. I think I don't have a phone, so I'm not sure. It's free comics, y'all. Great creators, small press stuff, and just a lot. It's just web discovery platform for comic books. And I mean, Is there anything better than free comics?
No, there's nothing better than free
Yeah.
comics, man.
Well, we know
Can't
it's
think
not
of
this
anything.
show. We know it's not this show.
Well, obviously, but oh well.
All right, let's do it. Let's do this.
Well, there's an electricity in the air, folks. A palpable hue of anticipation.
Someone's excited. It's not me. Hey, lots to talk about today.
You're not wrong.
I had trouble picking my comics. I went back and forth a couple of times.
Man, why you always gotta talk over this wonderful intro?
Oh, my bad.
Every time. Every
Greetings,
time.
geeks. Welcome back to another episode of Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit Talk Show.
This Geek in Comics. I am your co-host Gomer. With me as always, Adam Normal, and Taylor's in. He'll probably be here forever too. Might as well. Just when AK David comes back, he can.
Don't commit me to that.
All right. I don't want to, but hey everybody, thanks for hanging out. Welcome to the show. We're going to talk about the news in a little bit and some comics in a little while after that. But first, this is when we just talk about what we've been doing. You know what's been up. We do have some more shows coming. The Geek collection is happening soon. That's going to be fun. Oh, did Adam drop out again? Man, this
Looks
guy.
like it.
But yeah, that's going to be fun. We're going to talk about They Live on the first episode. Oh, that's going to be fun.
There was a chance there where Adam could have gotten back in while the banner was still displayed.
Yeah,
there.
and he wouldn't. No one would have ever known.
Yeah, it's too late now, though.
Our top 5 again has also moved. We're going to do that on October 13th. And it's not the top 5 graphic novels anymore because we want to wait for AK David to come back for that. It is top 5 comic book movies that are not in the MCU. No animation, and it must have had a theatrical release. Man, I got my short list. It's narrowed down to like 8 or 9. So it's gonna be good. Oh, here he is. Finally. We were talking about top 5.
Top 5. Top 5 is
Yeah. You're gonna be there, right?
maybe.
Oh, dude, come on.
Gotta keep on pins and needles, man.
You're gonna trigger
That's
my
a
anxiety.
pretty wide. That's a big pile to choose from. Anything and everything that is an MCU. A lot of good contenders there.
It is, man. And I have some superhero movies in there.
I just wish there was some animated I could choose, dude. I wish you could let me do that Mask of
That
Phantasm.
should be its own thing.
There's
I
not.
would have
there's
to
not
watch
as
a whole lot of movies for that.
Mask of the Phantasm is a real diamond in the rough there. I mean, I can't think of what else you'd round out a top 5 animated superhero movies with, honestly.
Well, Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse would be in there.
Spider-Verse, yeah.
I mean-
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah, I should have thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. Could I count like the Black Freighter from the Watchmen extended cut? No, because no one would let me do that.
Well,
It's not
nobody's
a
seen
full
it, so
film,
that's part of
no.
it.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren's Punisher, not a bad choice. Not a bad choice at all. Isn't that wrestler in there, that Big Daddy Cool from back in the day with the striped shirt? Never mind.
I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
But again, it's been a really long week. I've been watching Harry Potter all weekend. I had Harry Potter marathon. It's on Peacock, which is like a free streamer now.
Yeah,
So we're back and watch all those. Trying to get caught up on The Good Place. But otherwise, yeah, just a depressing, horrible, terrible week. Hopefully we can
Dude, it's
distract
been
from
so
that.
long. Such a long
It feels like a month. It feels like it was a freaking month this week, man.
Mhm.
You're not wrong.
So you guys do anything fancy this week?
Not too fancy. Just got to see some family. Got to hang out, have some nice family time. So that was nice.
Lame.
Yeah, very lame.
I had to help a friend move house yesterday. That was
even lamer.
Fun.
It wasn't that bad. We were just moving a washer and a dryer, but
Did you get some free pizza out of it?
I did get some free pizza out of it.
Well, then there
Them's
you
the
go.
rules.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are the rules. If you move someone, you get free food.
But this last
Usually
week,
pizza.
this last week did see the release of the latest Dresden Files book, and I've been reading on that.
Oh, fun.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm quite nearly done.
Taylor actually reads books without pictures.
I
don't get it either.
had to
Everyone.
walk away during like the build up to the climax just so that I could sit here and do this with you guys. So
Oh, I'm sorry to
so
be
he was in the
wasting your
bathtub.
time.
In the bathtub with the candles lit, reading his Dresden Files, and he
it was
dried
nice
off.
earlier. I was like sitting on my I got on a front porch. It's good, like rocking chair weather, just sitting back
Oh
there.
yeah,
good,
it is.
yeah.
It's very good
Good.
rocking chair
It
weather
is
now.
good rocking chair weather. All right. Awesome. I'm glad everybody had a great week. I'm glad this week's over finally. All right, news. Who wants to start with the news? I think Taylor should because he was already kind of pushing the news a little bit. Man, I've got to cut some seconds off the end of this freaking news video. I've been talking about it for weeks. Taylor, go ahead with the news that you were spitting in the pre-show.
Well, apparently, after they announced that the next James Bond movie is going to get pushed back to 2021, and after Disney has announced that basically its full slate is back to 2021.
Fast Furious 9 got delayed too.
Yeah. Cineworld, the people who own Regal Cinemas and some others that aren't as prevalent here in the States, have announced that they're probably going to go back to closing down the theaters again.
Indefinitely, until further notice, to be decided.
Well, presumably sometime next year, hopefully. But you got to figure, though, that theaters are going to be towards the end of the line of going back to normalcy, though,
Who knows?
It could be years. It could be 2023 before we have movies again. Now, that's like the worst pessimistic thing. Oh, me too, man. Me too. But honestly, we could see the end of movie theaters as we know them. These studios are not going to wait even another 18 months to release these movies that they've got sitting in these cans because production is back up and running on a lot of these movies.
I mean, I can't really blame them. They have to bring in their revenue. So, you got to do what you got to do. But it'll break my heart if we just move over to like streaming being the primary means of release.
That won't bother me at all.
Well, I think back to movies like Avengers Endgame, that was a real thrill to be there with an audience, the cheers going up, Paul of silence, a sad moment. Yeah. That was something walking out of the theater and talking about it with strangers sometimes,
Sure.
It's an experience I'll miss.
I
hope it's not gone forever. Is all I'm saying.
I do too. Not for myself because I don't really care, but for everything that you just said, a lot of people dig the hell out of going to the movies. I do not. When I go to the movie, I know people who that's what they do. They will show up at the movies on a Saturday morning and buy 3 tickets for 3 different shows all throughout that day. And that's their plan for Saturday, is to spend the entire day at the movie theater. I love that passion.
Man,
okay, so I hate that movies are going away.
I'm for both. I think what they should do is I think they should release the movie a week early in movie theaters, and then the next week put it on VOD.
Oh, you just want them to.
That way they can still have their week 1, box office, whatever, for the people who do want to go to the movie theater, and then the people who just want to sit at home can get it the next weekend.
I tend to think that in actuality, that's what's going to end up happening. We are going to get a little bit of both. I think drive-ins are going to come back with a passion. Walmart's already saying they're doing it.
That'd be a good fix for the moment, at least. And
good middle ground, sort of. Yeah.
I know. Awkward
I don't know, man. It's just
Taylor
sad.
thinks things over. It's sad.
Sorry.
It is sad because we may see the. Speaking of movies, let's move on. Jamie Foxx is going to play Electro again.
Yeah. What's up with that? It's weird. What's up with that?
I'm not excited about this, and I don't understand why anybody is.
I don't know why you would ever want to associate yourself with the dumpster fire.
Shocking.
That is Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah,
shocking.
Why are people excited from a character coming in from these movies that are, by consensus, awful dog shit movies?
I liked Jamie Foxx in that movie.
Okay, I will say that Jamie
the
Foxx
Electro character in that
I will
movie.
say
but everything else about that movie was, like Taylor said, dog shit.
I will say Jamie Foxx himself was not the problem with that movie.
Sure.
I think all the concept around Electro was flawed from the start, kind of.
Sure.
But I don't know. I'm just not
really
excited. I'm just not excited to see
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx do another take on it. Why not see another new person do it?
What
I'd honestly
if?
rather. I'd be more excited if this was Jamie Foxx has been cast as an Electro who is not the same Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2. If that's what's happening here, that sounds a lot better to me.
What if this is a Spider-Verse style sort of movie?
I mean,
I don't even care.
there are dealing in multiverse stuff now in MCU.
What
so
if
there
we
is
get
a
a
chance.
Sinister Six from all around the multiverse?
Okay, the Into the Spider-Verse was an amazing movie, perhaps the best Spider-Man movie ever made. Bar
I
none.
think it is. I think it is.
And
I agree
I
with
love
you.
the MCU, but I don't necessarily need that chocolate in this peanut butter. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, I don't necessarily think that it's a great idea to have like the MCU spring into this sprawling multiverse stuff.
Well, you know,
They're
it's
already
gonna
doing it with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but to be
You
perfectly
know,
frank, I
Sony
don't.
wants in on that. You know,
That's
Sony
exactly
wants in
my
on that
problem. I do
multiverse.
not trust Sony
They
being
do,
the ones
'cause they
making these
definitely-
calls.
Yeah.
Sony
Into the
definitely wants in 'cause
Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse was a miraculously successful thing in the sense that Sony has done nothing praiseworthy with Spider-Man for like a decade here,
or anything
except for
associated with
that one
Spider-Man.
movie.
Because Venom was terrible too, and
Venom was
Sony definitely
garbage.
wants to be associated with them because all of their movies are dog shit, and if they're not associated with them, I mean, being their movies are better just by being associated with Marvel. It means their movies
Yeah,
matter
absolutely.
more.
They
So
put more asses in the seats.
It would,
Yeah.
but I don't want to see the MCU's momentum stalled by having to placate Sony just to keep Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah.
Which might be what's happening here. I don't know.
I don't know if that's what's happening. I don't think we know enough about what Jamie Foxx is. He said he's not going to be blue in this one.
that's
He
good.
said that on Instagram.
That's
don't know.
that's an improvement right there.
Step in the right direction, sure.
And there's hopefully there's no dubstep during every single one of his fight scenes.
A
One
quick
can only
thing.
hope.
There's a crossover with Magic the Gathering and The Walking Dead. I just wanted to mention this because if David was here, he would mention it because he would give a damn. But man, just for the cards alone, like just a collector, a fan of The Walking Dead, dude, these cards are pretty damn cool.
They look pretty sick, yeah.
Yeah. So David would have more to say about that, but
I will say that creatures that have like are 3/3 or 4/3 like that are usually like, ogres or like giant behemoths or anything. I don't think fucking Negan with his baseball bat is gonna.
You don't think he's an ogre?
I don't think he's in that weight class. No.
I think they're playing it where there's like because there are zombies in.
I get it. That was just me
Magic,
being
so-
pedantic.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Who's got some news? I got a couple more.
Scout Comics signs with Mosaic. That's something. I guess. I don't know.
Is that for movies?
Yeah, it's supposed to be for
Water
movies.
all over
It's supposed to help their properties get into movies. I don't know.
Great.
It's something comics related that happened this week.
It was really light week. I think all of the
was.
people who work at the comics news were kind of the same way we were this week. Like, man, I just wish this week would end, be over. Taylor, do you have any more news? I have a couple.
Nothing springs to mind.
I
afraid.
got
Oh my
nothing
gosh. All right, let's go over the bad guys for X of Swords. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords Stasis #1. The trailer dropped and highlighted the bad guys and their powers. We want to end with Annihilation. So, Bay the Blood. Let me move the banner. Bay the Blood Moon, Silent Commander. We know nothing about that. That tells us nothing.
She probably just doesn't talk.
Probably just doesn't talk exactly. Death has a death stare.
Looks like Anubis.
Appropriate enough.
Yeah, it looks like an Egyptian.
Oh yeah, all the
Anubis.
OG horsemen here have some pretty strong Egyptian mythology motifs going on. It's pretty cool to see.
Yep.
Iska the Unbeaten, cursed to win. Pretty sure her mutant powers is she cannot lose. I think that was mentioned in.
She looks very braggadocious.
Yeah, my favorite one, Pogger Pog. His power is
He has a great name.
Dude,
Yeah.
It's a cool name. He looks just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But man, I love him so much. He hasn't even really appeared in anything. And he just looks so rad. I wonder who's going to fight him. And that's what else we should talk about. Who are going to be these matchups? Because we know at least one of them Redfoot the forest, or Red Root the forest, Field of Decay. I don't think we know what that means either. Here's Solemn, Adamantium Skin. This is the only one we know. This dude will be fighting Wolverine.
He's got to be.
No, they've already said it in the
okay.
previews.
Well, there's no way. There's no way you could bring up Adamantium and not have Wolverine involved.
Exactly. The way this character was described was the Loki to Wolverine's Thor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
Alright.
A summoner, an invulnerable warrior. We've already met him. The White Sword, ancient Okaran healer. I don't know what that means either. And War, who is sentient flame. That's cool. Number 10 is Annihilation. Now, who is Annihilation? There was Genesis. Probably Genesis, exactly.
Probably.
Genesis and Annihilation had to fight for who was going to win. And as far as we know, Annihilation won and Creation lost.
Every last detail you just mentioned was delivered by an unreliable narrator.
Yes. Yes. So we also know that Creation is like Apocalypse's exo lady, right? And I guess what we're thinking is that Creation actually assumed the role or the name Annihilation.
That would make the most sense.
If they're shouting in a mystery like this, that makes it seem more likely, yeah.
Yes. So are you telling me that this entire event boils down to Apocalypse's crazy ex-girlfriend?
Ex-wife.
I mean, it's already a shonen tournament arc.
Hey, you're getting this wrong, okay? Apocalypse ran out on them. He ran out on his family. He abandoned them.
Oh, here we go. He went out. He's like, I got to go get a pack of cigarettes, Creation. I'll be back in 15 minutes.
You have fun in this reality.
Yeah. So any guesses on who's fighting who? Do we even care? It's all going to come out. But, oh, man, it's rad.
Nah.
It's rad. Annihilation's got to fight Apocalypse.
Oh, well,
You
yeah,
would think so.
Yeah. Bay the Blood Moon.
Magic.
Maybe. Magic's an easy one for all of them.
Magic could fight anyone appropriately, I think.
Yeah.
I know that Storm's another combatant.
Yeah,
so.
Storm
is fighting Death. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's already been like teased on a cover of Marauders where they're like in this dance thing where they're like they're dancing.
Oh, you're right. I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. Iska the Unbeaten, cursed to win. So I mean, they have to. I don't know. Yeah, I'm deleting all these because then we could just do this forever, just guessing.
Yeah. I mean, we'll know soon enough, but it is fun to speculate.
It is. It is.
Apparently,
so
Gorgon's going to be fighting. Maybe he's the one fighting Mr. Adamantium since he's like cut Wolverine down before.
Well, no, I thought Gorgon's whole thing was he can't lose. Wasn't that one of his things?
Maybe. So maybe he'll fight Iska the Unbeaten.
Oh, man. See, once we dig in, we can figure it out. Pog? Who's he fighting?
I don't know.
Do you have a list of the combatants?
No, I don't. That would be a great idea.
Well, from the end of this week's X Factor, they did spell out, I think, 8 out of the 10 of them.
Yeah, they explained most of them, yeah.
Well, they're all on that Mark Brooks big ass cover too.
Oh, that too, yeah.
They kind of gave it away. I deleted all of them. So
but
yeah,
apparently,
how cool.
Cypher is going to be fighting, and that seems like a terrible idea.
Well, it's Cypher and Warlock.
Yeah.
Warlock sword, who is really like a super suit that Cypher wears now.
Mm-hmm. I love Warlock.
It seems like there's like better people on the roster, if you want to send someone to do
it's like, here's our combatant, Squirrel Girl. It's like, what the hell? What are you doing, guys?
Hey, man. Squirrel Girl would win this whole thing by herself. You know she would.
By herself. All right, one last bit of news.
Welcome to Taco Gifter by Taco Bell, a service that lets you gift a taco to anyone for any reason. Just pick a gift, personalize it, pay, and send away.
Yeah, I didn't know we were being sponsored by Taco Bell now.
No, we're not.
Yeah, moving up in the world.
Today is National Taco Day. Okay, so to celebrate, a lot of folks are giving away free tacos, but Taco Bell is doing something different and permanently. You go to tacobell.com/gifter and you can gift a taco to anyone. The gift is delivered as a $2 e-gift card redeemable via the Taco Bell website or the app.
Mm.
And then you go pick it up in the store or through the drive-thru. It's only available in certain locations. 35 cents per transaction fee.
35 cents for every taco.
That's where they get you. And tacos may exceed $2 in some locations. Where the hell are Taco Bell tacos more than $2? It better be Hawaii because that's the only thing I could think of.
Hawaii or Alaska, one of those two.
Insane. Even Alaska, that's a little pricey. So there's your food news for the week.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So, but it is National Taco Day, so everyone have a taco. All right, let's do the moment of destruction. Sorry, Taylor. Is it
Sorry,
what?
I was curious. Is it possible for National Taco Day to fall on a Tuesday, or is it like a
I know. I
like
think it's
first
all.
Sunday in October
good.
type of thing?
It
Okay.
should be a first Tuesday in a month sort of holiday. It really should
Well,
be. 'Cause
they dropped the ball on that one.
They did.
really did.
They did.
We should change
All
it
right.
now.
Yeah,
Write your
I'll get a
congressman.
petition. I'm going to petition.org right now because you know that always solves it. It's Moment of Destruction where we talk about Transformers books and G.I. Joe. But man, Adam, you're up, brother.
Oh,
I read them
man.
all. Did you read all 3?
Oh no, I only read 2.
Oh, I got to talk about that. All right, it'll be easy to talk about the Terminator book, but let's go ahead and talk about Transformers number 23 and Transformers Galaxies number 10. Let's go.
All
ahead
right.
first.
So
Oh my gosh.
we'll dive into Transformers number 23 first, I guess. So
Mhm.
this is it. This is what we've been building up to, the big anticlimax. You know, this. So the Senate has finally been convened without Megatron and the rest of these Senecons. So basically, so that Sentinel can just talk shit about him and most likely make the Senecons illegal.
Make
but
random terrorists.
Random terrorists, yeah.
Yeah.
But while this is going on, Megatron and the rest of the Senecons show up, and Orion Pax just lets them inside because, I mean, they are senators, but he knows they're up to something. And then while Megatron is giving his speech, which is a really weird speech, it's kind of it was a weird speech because he was kind of like, man, you guys thought we were bad guys.
We are the bad guys.
You guys were judging us, but then at the end he flipped and he was like, "But we are the bad guys." So I don't really know where Brian Ruckley was going with that one.
Yeah.
But then the Seekers come in and Ion Storm, I guess, does like an Ion Blast or something.
It was
very
acid or
vague.
some shit. It was weird.
Yeah, and there was Acid Storm was there too, so there was some acid coming through.
Yeah, it was weird, dude.
But I guess it killed all the senators.
I don't know.
Did it kill them all, or did it knock them all out? I don't know. They didn't really tell you.
Sentinel's still alive.
Is he? It wasn't very clear.
He's gotta be. They can't just have Sentinel die.
Kind of off screen a little bit. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I don't know. And then the Decepticons. They finally brand themselves the Decepticons. Take over the Senate.
Coordinated attack.
Right. They take over the entire Senate, and they just announce that they control the government.
Yeah.
I will say that the fight scene was well choreographed, but other than that, this is probably the worst iteration of this Senate takeover story I've ever seen.
All right, dude. This is an issue that actually feels like it's the political thriller that we signed up for.
Right.
But it's still not quite there, and I doubt it's ever going to get there now. It's watered down.
He missed the point a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, or he didn't make it enough. Megatron's speech wasn't enough for me. It didn't.
I know where you're going. All right. They are so close to hitting this bullseye when it comes to how the press influence public opinion about politics. The pros and cons of any government or any revolution, how choices are indelible, the long game politicians play in terms of what Sentinel does and Orion does and Megatron, even Starscream.
He's got good things going on, but he just
none of it. It's all lost in the minutia. Why should I give a shit about Bumblebee and Cyclonus, who they keep focusing on in this damn book, and they mean nothing to what's actually going on?
This entire
Cyclonus
book
is boring at this point. When he comes up, I'm like, oh great, there's awesome Cyclonus who's got this crazy PTSD where he sees ghosts, but we're never gonna explore it, never really explain it. And Bumblebee too. He's just bitter and petty at this point. It's just, I don't know. There's such an opportunity here. It's like he's right on the edge, but he keeps holding you back instead of just pushing you off the edge. Push me off the edge, Brian Ruckley. It's been 2 freaking years. Just do it,
man. I'm ready for shit to hit the fan, man.
Yeah, and it's just not. Okay.
No.
Transformers Galaxies, number 10.
This one, I didn't like this one either. This one was from Brandon Easton and Andrew Griffith. Andrew Griffith, you did nothing wrong. Your art
he did.
Fantastic.
At some point in the fight with the sword, Ultra Magnus is holding the sword in his left hand, and sometimes he's holding it in his right hand. It's not consistent. That's the only beef I got with the art. Go ahead.
Okay, what I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I was.
Well, other than that, it's great to see you back, Andrew Griffith. You can draw robots all you want. But in this one, we basically learned that Ultra Magnus fought in the three spark war with Megatron. We don't really know we don't really learn anything more about what the 3 Spark War was.
I have a huge problem with that. Go ahead,
They keep bringing it up, but they never dive into it.
It's a plot device.
Yeah, in any
point,
detail,
and it's infuriating. I want to
totally
know all about that thing.
And we basically just learned from this that Ultra Magnus is just a warrior to be a warrior. You know, he just likes to fight.
Yeah.
So we flash forward to the present, and he's just this soldier for the science corps of Cybertron, and they just go to planets and study stuff, I guess, Star Trek style, or something. He's
like
guess.
a wharf or whatever he's
Basically.
in charge of security.
But he actually wins fights.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, don't be talking smack about Worf here.
He's not wrong though with that comment.
Worf had a difficult role in that show where like the bad guys basically had to win to show what like badass bad guys they were.
I get it.
All right.
But he gets
Ultra
Magnus gets a message from Jazz saying that Alpha Trigon's missing. So Ultra Magnus goes to look for Jazz. He gets into a fight with another spaceship. He has to land on a nearby planet where he gets stuck in a trap by
Spinster.
What was it? Space splicers? Was that what they were called?
Oh yeah, these guys are like scavengers that take Cybertronian guts and sell them on the black market. It's weird too.
Sounds weird too.
Like organ.
But he falls into a trap, which is really weird because he's like, man, I know this is a trap the whole time. But then he does fall into the trap.
And not like in a cool way.
No.
You know, like the Jedi, let's spring the trap. Not in a cool way. You know, in like the worst way. He literally springs the trap and gets caught.
And now he has to help Spinster find Alpha Trion for some damn reason. Who knows?
We had a lot of problems with this one too. Not all of them that were. I just hate this version of Ultra Magnus.
Oh, I hate this version of Ultra Magnus.
That was part
this guy who just wants to fight things.
He's got an ego.
He has a super ego. I don't really think he stands for anything. Like the Ultra Magnus I'm used to is either the one who's there to enforce the Tyrus Accords, or I don't know. He's always been sort of the second in command of the Autobots. So
it's
kind
Ambus.
of like to drill him up.
It's Ambus or it's Robert fucking Stack.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one or the other, dude. Those are my Ultra Magnuses, okay? And there's no in between. And this one, he's got. All right. Also, he's got a sense of humor. No Ultra Magnus ever. He does. He makes jokes.
But they're not
Dude,
good.
Ultra Magnus on the Lost Light tried to make a joke, and everyone said, "Do not do that again."
That is true.
It was a
huge moment when he did that joke.
It was, dude. All right. It's just a lot to soak in with this version of Ultra Magnus. Is this happening concurrently with the main Transformers?
I think so. It's got to be because
we should know that for sure. There should not be a question of when this book takes place. There just shouldn't. It's weird.
I'm pretty sure it does take place.
I hated this. I'm going to read the next one, though. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to keep reading them.
Yeah. Transformers versus Terminator #4, The Last of the Moment of Destruction. David Mariotti, John Barber, Tom Waltz, Alex Milne doing the art. This is the final issue. It's just sort of your basic all's well that ends well sort of thing. The Terminator helps the Autobots.
Guys, let's all hug and go back to our own dimension, our own times.
They left things open with a sequel where Megatron may be part of Skynet.
That's interesting, I guess.
That was interesting, but overall, just sort of okay.
I want to see Unicron and Skynet get together.
Dude, let's move on to something awesome. Shit, I just had the pictures of as you guys said, oh, do you have the pictures of them? I do. I just played both of them on that video.
Yeah, part of the intro package there.
That was all 20 of them. X Factor number 4, Leia Williams, Carlos E. Gomez, a long way around to simply get to the point that mutants who die in Otherworld cannot be resurrected.
It was a
least-
long way around.
At least not the way they were.
They kind of wrote themselves into a narrative corner when they established, hey, there's no possible way these guys could die in any of these stories. In fact, hey, let's kill a bunch of them real quick and bring them back just to kind of drive home the point.
In House of X, yeah.
In House of X, and they killed Professor X like 5 minutes.
Oh,
that's true.
Yeah.
X-Force, that's true. That's true.
But
Rock Slide.
yeah, they wanted to establish for this event though that hey, there's stakes here. If these guys die in Otherworld for some reason, they can't resurrect properly.
Well, they explained why. They said that
They sort of explained why, but it was kind of like
it was a half-ass explanation. It was just like because they're in Otherworld.
If their consciousness is like on a hard drive somewhere, why the hell does it make any difference at all where they die?
Well, it corrupts their file.
Corrupted
basically.
data. It's corrupted magic. Otherworld magic.
Okay, whatever. They need to like maybe close off their storage systems there. Maybe just make it a closed system or something. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Maybe not plug into the internet, Charles.
Yeah.
My only problem wasn't that. My problem was they didn't dive enough into Rockslide himself in this issue. I wanted to actually see how Rockslide was different than he was before.
Yeah.
They just told me he was different, and I had to take it at face value.
They said that he is sort of an amalgam of every possible iteration of Rockslide that ever was, because Otherworld is like this nexus between dimensions. I love that idea, but yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it. Yeah, I want to see who Rockslide.
Is Rockslide an important character in any of the X books? Because there's a chance we'll probably never see him very much.
He's been a pretty prevalent New Mutant, but that's been like the least prevalent book.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. My big let me find my images. My biggest takeaway from this was this tour that we've got of the different realms of Otherworld.
Talked about Merlin's realm and Roma Regina
and everything.
This is actually from the creation book, what I've got up now, sort of the map of Otherworld. And, is it going to pop up? Yeah, this is the list of all of the realms. But yeah, these were the inserts we got on this one. The Floating Kingdom of Roma Regina and the Holy Republic of Fae. And dude, this gets into like Merlin's kid going free. Oh yeah, I want to visit Roma Regina. Are you kidding me? It sounds like a huge anarchist orgy, and I would love to hang out.
Said you can't go.
I want to know the story. I want to see these books. Dude, this Fae thing gets into how Merlin becomes like a despot, like a tyrannical leader of his freaking realm. Dude, where's that book?
Hickman doesn't do anything by chance, so these have to come into play at some point.
Yeah, these are definitely going to come into play. But overall, X Factor number 4 was an oversized issue that sort of just spun its wheels in the context of the whole event that's going on.
But it brought up really good questions to ponder, though, about Rockslide being a different person, being himself.
It's a lot of interesting ideas to be sure. And while I was shitting on it a minute ago,
takeaway we get, that's not enough. If the event,
how long that was.
All right, dude.
I was shitting on it a minute ago, but it is important to establish that there's maybe higher stakes here. Whereas, like, you might go into this event being like, who cares if they lose the tournament? They'll just get resurrected anyway. But now they're establishing not so fast, which, is important to...
I thought the stakes were high enough because if they lose, Krakoa is going to get attacked by this big army. I thought that was
but like, theoretically...
And the other big thing here is they destroyed all the eggs.
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that?
That was weird.
They kind of rushed to that conclusion there, where it's
be hard for them to
we know it wasn't any of us. It must be the eggs. Destroy them now, Well, they couldn't have waited 5 goddamn minutes.
Yeah. They did overreact quite a bit.
It wasn't
I was like, man, that escalated quickly, these weird kids, But I think they failed in actually pulling off how closely connected the 5 really are and how much Charles is the one who brings them together. Because you notice they all started freaking out as soon as Charles went offline.
Yeah.
But they didn't really communicate that the right way. But if every chapter of this event is going to be 4 or 5 pages of us of recapping what's going on in the event already, I'm going to be kind of pissed off. Especially if they're going to charge me $1 more for all the damn book.
Yeah, I'm
That
with
is a
you.
good point. That like probably the greatest complaint you could levy about this issue is it didn't feel like strictly necessary reading.
Exactly.
Like
Just the rock slide shit and
yeah.
the resurrection.
It fleshed
stuff.
out
That's
some
it.
stuff, and that resurrection thing was a pretty important takeaway. But for the most part, you probably could have skipped this.
Well, it also wasn't really an issue of X Factor either. X Factor didn't have
Yeah.
much to do with it at all.
Well, X Factor was
Polaris
there in. They were there in spirit to confirm that
I
Rock
guess.
Slide died. Oh, I don't want to delete that one. That Rock Slide had died and that Richter had died because that was the thing. Oh, he goes out because when Richter was resurrected, they knew there wasn't a problem. Richter was cool because he died on Krakoa.
Yeah.
So I mean, they were trying to go with that. I don't know. But yeah, overall, kind of a disappointing sort of issue. All right, Adam, you were saying something real quick before you got cut
I
off.
don't even know anymore.
Next week, we have
Was it
Wolverine
about
number...
Polaris signing off on the thingamabobs?
Oh, yeah.
I was just saying Polaris is a member of X Factor, so
Yeah.
it had a little bit to do with it, but
Yeah.
it still wasn't really an X Factor issue.
I don't regret reading it, but it was kind of a exposition issue. Like
Yeah.
a lot of setup more so than a lot
Just
of
a couple of really juicy nuggets, but that was really it. Next week, we have Wolverine number 6, which should be cool as he goes and finds the Muramasa blade. X-Force number 13. I'm not sure at all what's going on in that issue. There was no preview this week. And the solicits for all these books are like stupid, like 3 words, like Hickman wrote all the solicits. And Marauders number 13, Storm goes to Wakanda to find her blade. So, man, that's going to be rad. I am excited to see that happen. All right.
Gonna have to go to the land of the dead, probably.
Oh, who knows, dude? But I'm really excited.
That's
That's a cool thing. If we get to see everybody go and hunt down these blades, which mean quite a bit to them as individuals, that's a cool way to begin this story. You know, with
the way
that
that this issue ended was Magic just using her own sword there. Does she have to go get hers?
No, she just has it on her all the time.
she just already had one, you know.
Yeah.
She just beams it.
Oh,
beams
that's
it
convenient.
Yeah, and Cable's already got his. We know that. Cypher's got his. If Iceman is going to be one of the, because he's in that poster, I think
He can
he's
just make
got
an ice sword.
He's just got like an ice sword. Nightcrawler, I'm pretty sure he's already got a sword if he's one of the 10.
I mean,
I would love to see
rapier
Nightcrawler in
thing.
one of these fights. I mean, I love to see him going all swashbuckler. You know,
Oh, dude,
Earl Flynn Nightcrawler is my favorite Nightcrawler.
it is. It's rad. All right, let's do top 3. So dramatic. Let's start with Taylor since he knows what he's doing now with all this. Honorable mentions first, as many honorable mentions as you got, and then your number 3 favorite book of the week.
Okay, well, let me.
Oh, he's not even prepared. David does the same thing. It's okay.
Let me get my
Got me
stack
a
of counting.
All right. For my honorable mention, I'll do Shang-Chi number 1.
Oh, I hated this book.
I didn't get a chance to read it, so I couldn't tell you.
I was not happy with this book at all.
It was a lot of plot dump, like kind of. There's a lot of exposition to it, but it was exposition I needed because I don't know Shang-Chi that well.
This has been such an exposition-heavy week, and like every book.
No, you're not wrong. Shang-Chi, they're probably getting this book out in anticipation of the upcoming movie, trying to establish a presence for him in the comic book world. Well, more so than they already had.
I think it could have been a lot better if they would have just focused. Dude, there's a lot of characters in this, too, for a 5-issue miniseries. We got grandma. We got a sister. We got like 5 different families with 2 members each. There's a lot of characters in this.
There is. But I enjoyed it well enough.
I was bored most of the time. But that was cool. Good art, though, man. The art was great.
That was pretty good. Fight scenes were kind of sparse in this book, but what was there was enjoyable enough.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're getting some stern disagreement from whoever that is.
Bad. It looked bad. The art was okay, though. The art was okay, but the book itself, it did not read well. Any other honorable mentions before your number 3 book of the week?
I'll give an honorable mention to a book that came out a few weeks ago.
Okay,
Black
hey,
Widow.
break the rules. Oh, dude, how about
I missed
the
that when it
coloring
first
in
came
there?
out.
The
Yeah, it looks pretty rad.
coloring in that is Jordy Belaire's doing the colors on that, and a lot of the scenes are just red and black. But man, they're so full of motion, and
Yeah.
it's just really good comic booking. Yeah, that
missed
issue
the
number
vote on this
2,
a
I
few
think, comes
weeks
out
ago,
next
yeah.
week.
I believe so. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. Number 3 book of the week.
right.
Unless you have
For my number 3, I'm gonna do Strange Academy number 3. I'm enjoying the Strange Academy book a lot so far. I really enjoyed Jason Aaron's run on Wolverine and the X-Men, where it was mostly centered around the Xavier School, and I'm
It was
liking
the
that this
Jean
has.
Grey school in that, but that's cool.
Fuck you. But I like that this is kind of giving off similar vibes. They've introduced kind of the core student characters, and they're a likable bunch for the most part.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of heavy lifting because it's introducing the main cast is all characters that are brand new, and even most of the teachers are not necessarily headliner characters. We don't see Doctor Strange very much. We mostly get like Brother Voodoo and the Ancient One and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm liking it a lot so far. I would probably put it higher, except that this one was once again kind of exposition heavy.
Dude, it was like a field trip. It was like this after school weekend hanging out. You know my biggest problem with this book? That the Asgardian frost giant dude and the other guy weren't going to come because they don't like the way people look at them. But Doyle Mormammu with Flamehead is just hanging out on Broad Street having a great time. What is going on? But
that is a fair point. I mean, it is New Orleans, so if there was a place where you want to get a second look looking like that, that is the place. But
that is true.
Yeah, I was thinking that as I was reading. That's like, okay, the giant I kind of get. He's not going to fit anywhere they go, but the other guy doesn't look any weirder than Dormammu Jr. or the fairy girl or the demon girl.
Yeah, it was weird to me, man. It was weird.
Well. But I'm enjoying this series a lot so far. Scotty Young's doing a good job. It's a charming little book, and I'm enjoying it.
I 100% agree. I dig it. I liked this issue, and all these characters are growing on me. There's not a bad character in the bunch, and Humberto Ramos is one of my favorite artists. Man, he's great. I love that they had introduced this third eye thing where you can. And you mentioned Jason Aaron. He had a run on Doctor Strange, I think, where it was him and Chris Bocciolo, where they introduced this sort of where the monsters are hanging out, and the thing. Yep. Hey, we got somebody over at YouTube. Hey, what's up, dude? Thanks for hanging out. Next guy. Cool. Do you want to go next? You want me to go?
Adam? You can go, man. That's fine.
I got a few honorable mentions. Joker Warzone was kind of a lame commercial for books that are coming out in 2021.
I was not. This was not what I thought it was going to be when I picked it up. I thought this was supposed to be like the end of that whole Joker War story.
Yeah,
it was not that at all.
It wasn't that at all.
I should have researched better before I picked it up.
But that said, that Clown Hunter one at the end, fantastic.
Yeah. Well, some fantastic. Were pretty fun.
I like the Ivy one, and Ivy's going to get some attention. Ivy's going to get some attention. Can't wait.
The only one I didn't really like.
New guy. Awesome.
But the only one I didn't really like from the bunch was the one about Lucius Fox.
Yeah, I didn't like that one either.
I thought it was weird. He was just he was just wasting guys at the end, just shooting them through the damn head.
It was weird. Hey, thanks
kind of out of character for him.
I appreciate that. Tell your friends.
Also, his son, Batman. I completely missed that.
Yeah, I didn't like any of this except for the Ivy and the Clown Hunter.
Most of the stories I liked well enough. I liked the Clown Hunter stuff. I liked Ivy was pretty fun. Let's see, what was the first one again?
Yeah,
the stuff with Bane and the Joker I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
I like Joker's whole you wasted Alfred's death, man. You didn't even put him in a room where he had to watch or something.
Yeah.
You know what I would have done if I was killing Alfred? That type of thing.
Yeah.
It was really you traumatized the wrong guy. You got the boy.
You traumatized Robin? Who cares about him?
Yeah. Very, very cool.
Yeah. Another fun way.
Another honorable mention. I don't even know if I should mention this because I'm sure it's going to be on someone's list, but Immortal Hulk, The Threshing Place, #1, Lemire and Michael Del Mundo. Solid Hulk one-shot.
I actually did not pick that up this week.
Oh, it was pretty rad, dude. Beautiful art, really well paced. My last honorable mention, I have to mention this. Batman Superman Annual #1. Joshua Williamson, Dale Eaglesham, Clayton Crane, and Gleb Melnikoff. This was so
Definitely
much
looked
damn
great.
fun, dude. Batmite and Mr. Mixelplix
Oh,
debate
God.
the age-old question, who would win, Batman or Superman? And then they changed reality to actually have them fight in the way that people would argue about it on the internet. You know, even going as far as saying, no, OOC. And Batman's like, what's OOC? Out of character. Superman would never do that. It was so cool, man.
That's
They-
a fun meta story.
It was really fun and meta. Like, at one point, they say they're in the Batcave fighting, and Batman says, Batcave operation, a Boy Scout, right? And he goes, and they're like, no, wait, we can't have them fighting on Batman's, ground.
Yeah,
We
that's
have
home
to fight on
turf.
neutral ground. And he's like, well, no, we'll have them fight in the Fortress of Solitude. So they go to the Fortress of Solitude, and Batman says, Fortress, Operation Boy Scout. And Superman's like, wait a minute, you hacked my fortress? He's like, yup. And the fortress starts attacking Superman. At one point, he makes the sun red so that Superman can't do shit. It was really rad, dude, using satellites. It was rad, dude. Like all these weird, stupid things that you'd hear on the internet on some dumb argument. But man, there were better books, believe it or not. I'm going to go my #3 book, The Department of Truth, #1, James Tynion IV, Martin Simmons, on Image Comics. I had weird art. Okay, the art was really gritty and grimy, but there's a reason they do
I didn't
that.
like the art in the preview that I saw.
There's this weird subliminal stuff going on where some of the panels, the people turn into demons, and it's subtle,
Oh.
and it's got this weird, tone about it, which totally fits the weirdness that's going on. It turns out that if enough people believe something, that it actually becomes true, and there's a government department tasked with making sure that kind of stuff does not happen. The Department of Truth ensures that conspiracy theories stay conspiracy theories. And the head of the Department of Truth is Lee Harvey Oswald. I mean, that's all you need right there.
That is a good sell right there.
So the first issue involves him recruiting an FBI agent who acts as our, guide into this newness because it's new for him. And he has a desk job where he keeps up with conspiracy theorist whack jobs on the internet. And this is just cool, man. It's diving deep into conspiracy theories in this weird meta way, but also in a realistic way. It's just really well done, fun writing. And that art grows on you, man, because it fits the narrative of the story. The way they, like, he's on a plane with a bunch of billionaires. The billionaires are taking him to the edge of the flat Earth, and when he gets there, God
damn it, Adam.
And when he gets there, it actually is flat. And he's like, how the hell does that happen? And then this assassin shows up and murders all the billionaires. But before that, the billionaires like laugh at him, and they all have these weird demon faces. It was so well done. Very, very fun book. But now he's back.
Does sound pretty trippy.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, who's up? Who's up for their?
That's
number
me.
3
It's
book?
me.
So
So
mentions.
I guess my honorable mention. This was very. I didn't get a chance to get to a whole lot of books this week, unfortunately. But my honorable mention this week will be Avengers #36. It's a fun.
Age of No Shoe.
Yeah, it feels like
It's
Jason Aaron being a little kid playing with his action figures, just jamming everything together.
Yeah. It's a fun popcorn comic.
Exactly, it's a fun popcorn comic. I don't know, but it needs to build up to something. I don't know.
It needs to go somewhere. We got this Phoenix
I
story
like the
coming
Phoenix
up in the
though.
next
I like
arc.
the Phoenix showing up at the end.
Okay, that thing though, like that kind of took me off guard. Like, it seems like Jason Aaron can't leave the damn Phoenix alone.
He has a thing for the Phoenix.
But this goes back to that 10,000 BC Avengers, right? I didn't read Avengers 36.
Well,
I'm going to pick it up
sort of. It's
after
like-
Age of No Shoe.
It seems like Moon Knight is targeting all of the legacy powers that like the
All the magic
Stone
powers.
Age Avengers were using, like
Oh, cool.
Mjolnir and the Star Brand, and now the Phoenix.
Sure.
But
But my number 3 this week.
it's a lot of fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
My number 3 this week was X Factor number 4.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a slow issue, but I still thought it brought up a lot of good things to think about, and I'm just digging this X-Men stuff right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the art pop, dude. The very
the art
bright
totally did
colors
pop. The
on
art was
it.
great.
Yeah. Very
And I
nice.
like some of the character stuff, some of the individual moments. I liked Apocalypse telling Richter to stop being a little bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Taylor, it's up to you. Unless you want to talk more about X Factor, I could talk X-Men the rest of the damn show if you want. Shit. Number 2 book.
For my number 2, I'm gonna do Batman 3 Jokers number 2.
I didn't read this. I jumped off after the first issue.
I'm enjoying it. The artwork is stellar for one thing. It's kind of there's a lot of cool character moments with like Jason Todd and Bruce and Barbara, the ones who have been most directly victimized by the Joker from the Bat family.
Mm-hmm.
There was a nice moment where Jason wakes up in Barbara's apartment after they had like rescued him from the Joker, and they're going through all of like he finds the room with her wheelchair, and there's these books of like things she had to read in order to cope with what she was going through when she was paraplegic.
Yeah. I didn't read
It's not
it.
necessarily. It's not
I'm with
something.
Gomer. I didn't read it this week either.
That's fair, but it couldn't possibly live up to like years and years of buildup that it's had. Like I saw you in the comic shop, Adam, and yeah, they teased this like 5 years ago or something.
Yeah, the
Yeah, it was
Mobius
at the end,
chair
it was at the end
in
of
Avengers.
Jeff John's run on Justice League.
Yeah.
The new 52.
So, yeah,
Oh yeah, Justice League. I don't
anything
know.
that has to like be built up for that long is going to inherently be.
It's not even like
disappointing
they
to some
built it
extent,
up.
but- Well,
They
The
kind of
Mobius
forgot
chairs-
about it. They
The
dropped it for a
Mobius
little
chair
while.
moment happened. Batman sat in the chair. He finished what was going on with the arc. They still moved forward with that, with the repercussions of that. But him asking who the Joker is seemed like it was just an aside in that Justice League story.
And it was completely dropped after that. They never brought it up
Yeah.
again
Why are
until
we getting
this
back to
point.
it now? And it's like we're not even getting back to it within the main continuity. This is a Black Label book. It probably doesn't mean shit. The biggest Joker story in probably a decade is going on right now in the main continuity. I just don't see how this matters or could possibly have been good in the context of living up to the hype. But it didn't seem like there was any hype. The hype seemed like it was manufactured in the minds of the fan base. Like, oh, shit, there's 3 Jokers. We're finally going to get to it. No, we're never going to get to that. And when we are going to give you something, it's not going to have anything to do with the thing that actually got you excited about there being 3 Jokers.
outside of all that context, though, outside of like outside forces that, yeah, they definitely dropped the ball with all the
Sure.
delays leading up to this. The book itself is a fun enough read.
There
I
you
can
go.
understand not wanting to pay the price tag they're asking for this one, but
That was the main point for me.
Yeah.
It was
Me too,
way
me
too
too.
expensive for
Yeah.
this story.
I enjoyed it for what it was.
Did
That's
they get
fair,
into the actual 3 Jokers more into this? Are they just like a cult of Joker people, or
They're
where
hinting
are they
at it. There's not
from?
really okay. They haven't really like officially explained it yet, but what seems to be happening, spoiler alert, I guess,
Yeah, it's
is
fine.
that they are constantly on the like. Apparently, the circumstances, the chemical thing that makes a Joker, is something that they routinely try on other people. It just rarely works. Like part of
Oh.
this issue, they go into like a whole swimming pool of the damn chemical, and there's like dozens of Jokers floating around in it, but none of all these were like defective. They're
they all
trying to make
die
it
or
another-
something? Yeah.
Yeah. And what I thought was going to happen after the first issue is they're going to make Jason Todd another Joker, but they shat all over that in this issue. Like one of the
Wow.
Jokers, like straight up, like tells him, I thought you might have some potential, but you're just not smart enough to be a Joker. So fuck you, and just
Oh, wow. You figured with a whole multiverse of different universes that you could have 3 Jokers and have it make sense in the DC universe. Like just a
they're not
normal
going
thing.
the multiversal crossover angle, but
Well, speaking of the multiversal crossover angle, my number 2 book of this week, Dark Knight's Death Metal Multiverses End number 1. James
I'm with
Tynion.
you, man. That's my number 2
Again.
also.
Awesome. Juan Gideon. This is just an amazing romp through DC's multiverse during this crazy ass event.
I will say it was very exposition heavy, but at the same time, the ad
A lot of that
exposition
going around
was
this week.
so crazy
Dude,
to recap.
Owlman, who is Batman, this mostly focuses on Owlman.
I love Owlman's motivation here.
Too. His motivation is no, I'm the best Dark Mirror view of Batman, not this knockoff Batman who laughs.
Who the hell is this Batman who laughs guy coming in trying to steal my thunder?
Good. I empathize with Owlman more than I thought I would when you guys said that.
Yeah. But I think it's the small stuff in this issue that is the reason to buy it. The Owlman shit is great. It's actually the meat on the bone.
Oh yeah, but the little Carrot Man or the Captain Carrot stuff.
Captain Carrot stuff is great. There's also like the bigger picture, small stuff that points to the bigger picture, where Perpetua is also fueling herself off of the darker side of the regular continuity multiverse universes, like Earth 3, Earth X, or 10, the one that's got the Nazis, Earth 29, the Bizarro universe, Earth 43, the Blood League with the vampires and shit, and the Justice Lords from Earth 50. Now they are all gone because Owlman blew up all of these.
He blew himself up too.
Blew himself up
and
too
Baby
because he's
Batman.
like, I'll be back. He's like, when y'all win, I'll be back. So
I
it'll all
love Baby
be
Batman.
okay. Yeah, it was so interesting, so fun for him to have that attitude.
That realization that even if he does die, the universe wants there to be an Owlman. So he'll just come back at some point.
Yes, such a cool moment. There were these fun little subtle fourth wall breaks, but weren't fourth wall breaks. Like Owlman shits on a group of Dark Universe Rainbow Batman who was led by a baby and said, no, I'll be remembered because I'm a cool Batman knockoff. You will never be remembered because you're a terrible Batman
because you guys are dumb.
And that's what this whole event is about, Batman knockoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of these Batman, one of those like 4 lantern colored Batman, makes a Green Lantern refrigerator joke. Saying, what are we going to do with this Green Lantern? And one says, get me a refrigerator. So it's kind of
dark.
Dude, it's so dark, but it's like breaking the fourth wall, in this weird, not really breaking the fourth wall, but using the continuity that no longer exists. That continuity no longer exists in this current, iteration of the DC universe. But this issue has actually got a follow-up issue called Death Metal Rise of the New God.
I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Definitely looking forward to that, man.
With some New God stuff.
I wasn't expecting Death Metal to be this damn cool. The event itself
it is so dumb, but it is so fun.
So dumb, so stupid, but man, I can't get enough of it. I can't get enough.
Baby Batman was just great in this issue.
Yeah. Oh man. Baby Batman was great. So fun. All right, that's our number 2, me and Adam. Taylor, what was your number 2 book of the week?
My number 2 was actually Fantastic Four, number 24.
Oh, which cover did you get? Did you get one of the Alex Ross covers?
No.
They had 4 of them. No, you just got the regular old main cover.
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying. It's weird that an issue number 24 had like 5 covers to it. It was just
kind of random, yeah. But
it was just a weird week.
Either way, I'm enjoying this run a lot so far. I feel like they are really homing in on the whole family dynamic vibe that the Fantastic Four usually does better with when that's what you're focusing on. Sure. Basically, this issue was just them recounting a story that would have taken place in the Silver Age. And I think they really nailed the dialogue and the imagery from a Silver Age story.
Oh, wow.
It was just kind of, like, it was basically the idea was like there was some time in the past where the Torch in Silver Age Torch, like you do, stormed off because hey, I'm the most popular member of the Fantastic Four. I'm going solo. And Iceman, back when he was the X-Men's whipping boy in the Silver Age, he's like, hey, turn the safeties off. I'm going to try this Danger Room run. And he just gets his ass handed to him by the Danger Room. And so he slinks off with his tail between his legs. And circumstances bring him with the rest of the Fantastic Four outside of Johnny, and they have a team up. And Johnny sees that, they replaced me, and goes storming back.
Oh wow, that's the story.
That's pretty much the story, yeah.
Who did the art on it? I know it's a Dan Slott joint, but I could do without Dan Slott on this book.
Paco Medina.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Medina's really good.
And he's good at that throwback style too.
Mhm.
Yep.
Cool. Cool
I'm trying
issue.
to find out. Here's some of the Silver Age part of the story.
I think I can make you
Mhm.
big.
And he, like Silver Age Iceman, where he was just like covered in snow for some damn reason.
He hadn't perfected the Iceman yet. He was Snowman.
And that contrast with the modern continuity stuff, where we got like Franklin on Krakoa here and stuff.
Yeah. That's rad. Oh, so they are showing Franklin on Krakoa in the FF book. Oh, that's interesting.
Well, now Gomer has to read FF.
I do kind of want to check it out a little bit more if they're tying into.
I'm
X-Men
enjoying
that
the run a
closely.
lot. In the aftermath of Empire, Ben and Alicia have adopted the Skrull and Kree children that they were dealing with in that event.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. It's good, lighthearted fun. I enjoyed sort of the Silver Age callback stuff, and it was an enjoyable comic, and I needed that this week because
Nice.
there was so much like exposition dump everywhere else.
Yeah. Nice. Man, my number one book this week is very surprising. I didn't even want to like this book just because of what was going on, but it's Giant Size X-Men #1, the tribute to Wine and Cockrum. So there's not much to say here. It's a book from 1975, but each page was done by a different modern day artist. So it's
I bet it looks
kind of like a cover album, sort of.
That's a cool idea. I don't
Yeah.
see how it's much of a tribute to Cockrum, but whatever.
Exactly. Well, you'll see in a minute because I've got.
Are they still using the same like layouts and stuff?
No, I got a couple of things of images. The real reason I picked this as my number one is because I want to see more of things like this. I want to see more landmark issues. All right. On your left, you have the original there. On the right, this is Alex Ross's take on that first page.
Looks sick.
This is page number 7. This is Marguerite Savage's take on what we see on the left.
So they got to kind of reimagine it a little bit.
Dude, look at that. I love that. I don't know what it is about them.
It's still the same panel layout, but it has a little bit different of a.
Yeah,
it's got Storm sitting in the middle of it.
Yeah, it reads the same, but they kind of broke outside of the panels. That's really neat.
Yeah, I got a couple other ones here. Here's one. This was by Bernard Chang. That's pretty rad. Just adding some modernization to it, making things a little bit. Because I mean, look, he says this really epic thing in this box on the old one, the left side bottom panel. I'm Sunfire, but he's just standing there. So on this one, on the other one, he's like
epic pose going on.
Yeah, he's got an epic pose going. And then this one by Mark Brooks, wow. Look at that. So it's both. It's sort of an homage and an update and a tribute all in one. And man, I did not want to like this. I wanted to hate this. But I got it anyway.
That's a lie. You want to love everything X-Men.
I do, but I thought I was going to hate this because, man, you're taking one of the classic books and really you're just redoing it. What's the point? And the point is they're redoing it. And it was really special. And again, I want more classic, landmark issues in this
I think it's a good
style.
idea. I definitely don't hate it. It's a good idea to put an emphasis on classic books that have kind of collected dust over the years.
Here's the list.
I feel like the important distinction with stuff like that is it just like a cash grab, or are they coming from it from a genuine place of tribute? Is it done with love and respect? Because if it is, I think that does shine through.
Well, it's Marvel, so it's always going to be a cash grab to some degree.
Sure.
But are they putting forth the commensurate effort to justify the cash grab?
I think that's on two different people. I think the editors and the higher ups at Marvel are the ones who are like, no, we want more of these. And the artists who say, oh my God, yeah, that was my favorite issue of Hulk or Avengers or whatever. I want this page. They're the ones who are going to pour their heart and soul into the art. And that's what really matters, anyway. So yeah, I would love to see more of these. That was my number one pick of the week. Adam, I think you're up.
My number 1 was That Texas Blood, number 4.
Ooh.
By Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips on Image Comics. Man, I just caught up on this series, and this is great. I love the whole neo-Western noir subgenre. You know, your Old Country for Old Men's, your Hell or High Water, all that stuff. It's great. This one, Randy, who goes back to town because his brother died. This one's all about him going back to his old childhood home and facing all of his sort of past demons and stuff. And by the end, he starts drinking again, which is the whole thing he stopped doing to make him stop being an asshole, you know. Yeah. But now you know shit's gonna go down in the next issue because he's got a whole gun and he's going after what's his name, Kyle or whatever, in the bar. Yeah. So I just love this because the atmosphere is great. I love all the character stuff, and plus this was an issue that wasn't just a huge exposition dump this week.
Man, there's the great things about this series are the dialogue. Like
Definitely.
The sheriff and his wife have this great conversation where they're like, well.
They
one of those
they do a really good job of conveying an entire set of emotions using one word.
Yeah. And there's these great panel breakdowns where they're like chung, 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 cutting the page into chunks where it just works so well for us to communicate to the reader what they actually are trying to tell you. And yeah, it's really great. More people need to be reading it. I know that.
Definitely.
Yeah. Is that it, Taylor? Do you have a number 1? It was Fantastic Four, your number 1 book.
I thought that was his number 2.
Was it?
2 was Three Jokers. And,
that's right. Okay. Sorry, man. I can't believe nobody read any of those honorable mentions I had. You guys got to go back and check out that Batman Superman annual, dude. It was so rad.
I haven't been reading Batman Superman, so
I mean, I haven't either. I picked it up just because it was an annual, and those are supposed to be standalone fun stories.
I'm the opposite. I feel in that
I am the opposite on that too.
I would never consider getting an annual of a book I don't read, and it's always kind of up in the air if I'm going to get it, even if I am reading the book.
Yeah, if I'm not reading a book and there's an annual, especially if it's at DC, I usually pick it up. If I'm not reading it. Sometimes when I am reading it, I also pick it up, but usually not. Like Batman's got annuals, I usually skip all the Batman annuals. But I'm always reading Batman, so it doesn't matter. Oh, look who decided to join us. Look who decided to come back just for the end.
You know.
All right, if you listen this long, definitely like, share, and subscribe. I stole that from Leroy. He tells fans to do that all the time. We're streaming this on Facebook and on YouTube and on Periscope. So if you're watching us on one of those 3, go to the other 2, search for Outright Geekery, like us over there. Tell your friends. We've also got a Patreon that you could go to. Let me get that. Patreon.com/OutrightGeekery. You can give us $1 a month for us to continue the show. Spoiler alert, we're going to do it anyway, whether you pay us or not. But hey, pay us if you like us. Yeah, we'd still love to have the money.
Just
check out the other.
There, Gomer.
Check out, yeah, right. I'm a regular PT fucking Barnum over here. Anyway, if you like this show, we also do a Monday night show where we talk about all of the new books coming out that week. We do that every Monday, 7 Central Time. Check that out. That is a whole lot of fun. We have a lot of other shows over here. The Comic Book Bully stream every Monday night, late Monday night. They're awesome. Always talking about shit in pop culture with Leroy and Eli. We have the Comics Outlet with Big Willie. He's also doing 5-minute reviews throughout the week. What else we got over here, man? We got the Geek Tyrion collection coming up. We got Top
That's coming
5
up soon. Yeah.
Oh man, I got a lot to do. I got to watch like half a dozen movies before next week.
I do need to watch They Live again.
I need to watch They Live. I'm gonna have to watch it like twice. I'm gonna have to take
oh, definitely.
Notes. You know, Jules is gonna get deep.
Oh, he will. He'll do a super big deep dive. He'll have like a dissertation.
Oh yeah, he'll be like, "All right, welcome to my TED talk.
Here's all the social, economic, politics of this movie."
Well, there are some deep things, man.
There is. Don't get me wrong.
So keep your eyes out for that. Those are all happening in the next 2 weeks. Again, thanks for hanging out. But most of all, thanks you two jokers
Anytime,
for hanging out with this joker to be the 3rd joker on the show.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Always fun.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
Next
same
week's
geek time, same geek channel.
Next week's got to be a better week than this week was.
Yeah, this wasn't really that good of a week.
Gotta be better.